Mountain Man School.
Hello, hello, hello. How we doing, good people? Happy Monday. I guess I want to say happy Monday to you all. And welcome to Montez at Midday. We've been brought to you by a title sponsor, the Weed Squad St. Louis. They're located at 8088 Watson Road. Don't forget to visit us at www.dremontez.com to get a complete listing of all the sponsors and to find a little bit more about the show of Montez at Midday, as well as Who's to Blame, the podcast. You can check out our latest episode of our podcast. We post a new episode every Wednesday. And you can check out the latest episode now wherever you get your favorite podcast at. It's basically me talking about the future of sports. Check it out wherever you get your podcast at. If you want to follow us on social media, we have a page on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at W2B Dre Montez, as well as YouTube, Dre Montez. So you can get a little taste right there for your boy. But again, happy Monday to you all. You all made it through the weekend. This is our first official Football Monday. It's in the books. It's here. Now the work conversation is getting good. This is the time of the year I really miss working in an office environment. Getting that water cooler conversation. How did your weekend go? How did your college team do Saturday? How'd your football team do Sunday? How's your fantasy team doing? Speaking of fantasy, again, shout out to our fantasy league sponsor, Tower Pub, located on Morgan Ford. First time ever they have the NFL ticket. First time in 15 years, my man Rob has the NFL ticket at Tower Pub. I kind of did some maneuvering with the fantasy league. I increased the points. I wanted to make it interesting. Score 2,000, 4,000 points. Let's get outrageous with this thing. Those 110 to 95 games. Let's American League this thing. So I kind of boosted the score in the fantasy league, and it looked like some guys are scoring some really high points, and we will announce the winner on Wednesday show of the first week of the Montez at Midday Who's to Blame Fantasy Football League. But this is when that work conversation gets really interesting in the morning. This is morning. Good morning, Brenda. How you doing, Steve? Now we want to know how the weekend was. Break it down to us. Let's go. The holiday week is out the way. We don't have any more time off, people. Are you ready for this? Drum roll, please. We don't have any more time off at work until Thanksgiving. Oh, so we're gonna bundle this all up and save our energy for, of course, Turkey Day weekend. Skanksgiving Eve, as they call it in the local setting of nature, and also my favorite time of the year when people put their best foot forward when it comes to cooking for strangers. I like this time of year. I really do. Looking forward to it. We got a little break. We got the Man Cave member Jay birthday coming up this week. Got that right there going on around. Again, shout out to the Man Cave members. Brother Preacher Man Devin, Man Cave President June, Jody, Walt, Q, Stefan, Black, T-Mac, and Jay. All the members of the Man Cave, and TJ as well. All the Man Cave members and the honorary Man Cave members and the She Shed people out there. Can't forget about the She Shed people, because women get together too, and apparently they watch sports as we do and yell at the television like we do. I need to see some proof of a woman yelling at a television during a sporting event. I got to see this with my own eyes. But again, if you're just tuning in, thank you so much. Well, besides what Gayle King revealed to me on television, that she wants us to see her in a thong, college football had some key games I was going to be paying attention to. I was going to pay attention to the Oregon-Ohio State game, Uh, Texas A&M, Colorado, Iowa State, Texas and Arkansas or Arkansas, depending on where you're at. Stanford and USC, and Mizzou and Kentucky, as it was the only SEC matchup. And I tell you, it was just like eating cheesecake. It can't disappoint you at all with a schedule like that, and the way the fans are back, and the rejuvenation in the crowd, and the players really getting the true college experience and getting adjusted to that old motto: don't take anyone for granted. Florida State comes to mind for some reason, comes to mind. They got hit with that OL by Jacksonville State late game. But just like a few years ago, when I was there, when App State beat Michigan, that was a rumble. That affected the earth tilt that day. It was pandemonium. When you don't take it seriously, you take someone for granted, you're not bringing forth your best effort. That's why these teams win 66-3 to these so quote unquote not top tier competition. You see why? You don't want to take them for granted because they hang around, and they hit you in the mouth, and then everybody wants to make excuses, which comes to mind the Ohio State. Dot the I now. Dot the I now, Buckeye Nation. Come on, I got to hear what happened here. You'd have thought the ghost of Chip Kelly, even though Chip Kelly is still alive, was in these kids' head. They were running together. They were playing together. Wow, oh wow, what a game. I didn't see that coming, but I knew it would be one of those games that the Ohio State didn't put as highly on the chart as they should have done. A&M in Colorado, come on now. Iowa and Iowa State, oh my goodness. That game had everything. But the fans make that game even more special. The fans do. Texas and Arkansas, one of the greatest parties I've seen on live television since the Giants won the World Series and Will Clark went on the mound with a bottle of champagne. Then Ovi winning the Stanley Cup with the Washington Capitals. But what I saw on that field, after Arkansas, the Razorbacks beat Texas, the Longhorns. Welcome. Things went a whole different way in that game. I'm talking a whole lot of firsts were done in that game. Way to go, way to go. Stanford USC, did it give us what we really wanted? They're not what they used to be. We get it. This is not USC of the 80s and 90s. This is not Stanford of the 2000s. But these programs are finding identity within themselves. I think these kids now coming into school are trying to create their own version of a 30 for 30 film. Mizzou and Kentucky. I'll let you guys finish arguing about that Mizzou and Kentucky performance. I really would. I would let you just... College Ames Day, as they call it, in the Iowa and Iowa State game. I wanted to know what the Ohio State quarterback was looking at on the one play. He was not looking at the receiver. He was not looking at the cornerback. I want to know what cheerleader, what student body member, what former girlfriend, who was he looking at when he threw that pick six? Who? The cameraman couldn't point out the evidence to me. I tried to do everything. I paused the TV. I tried to rewind. I tried to move the camera angle. I cannot make out what he's looking at. But it was not the game situation at that current point. It was not at all. That bothers me sometimes, what they're looking at on the field. You know, back in the day as a kid, attention span was something else. If you played sports between the ages of 6 and 10, you're a fucking butterfly come on the field. You get hit in the eye with the ball because now the attention span is gone. It's gone completely. But on a collegiate level and a professional level, I wonder what they're looking at sometimes when things happen that are so obvious that they didn't see. And it becomes a mistake and your team suffers. But you swore they were looking at this. But then it turns out in hindsight they were looking at something else. You've seen the way these fans go to the game. You've seen the way they dress. They not dressing for the date they with. They dressing for the date. They want to have one of these professional athletes. I mean, I'm just, oh my goodness, just, it is just amazing to me what takes place on a Saturday in college football. Everything that is talked about from the week leading up to it, and then the game actually gets played, and you're like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. What did we talk about? What did we talk about? My Florida football Gators. I tell you what, I learned something very, very, very valuable on Saturday. Number 15 for the Florida football Gators, Mr. Anthony Richardson, 6'4", 240. I'm having like deja vu. Chris Leak and Tim Tebow who had Florida together. Now I got this kid wearing number 15. And what he's done, I know these 2 games don't mean nothing. Dre, they didn't play nobody. Okay. You got to start somewhere. And I like what I'm seeing out of number 15 from the Florida football Gators. I tell you that right now. That is a true statement of what I witnessed on Saturday. I was impressed. I really was. More impressive wins this week, and I think what Arkansas did to Texas was pretty shameful. Not to shed light on anything shameful that Oregon pulled off against the Ohio State. The week 1s and week 2 losses, will they come back and haunt Clemson and the Ohio State University as we're moving forward if the competition does not get any better? For Clemson, they don't face anybody for its competition until the ACC title match, probably, due to the way the schedule is made up. Is it their fault? They make these schedules in advance, we know that, especially the out-of-conference games. But that's what you get when you're trying to compete with the elite, to prove you deserve this much money, to prove that you deserve to have this type of television contract. This is why you're getting the top-tier players. Here is why these things are happening. Then when you get on national television and you have a game like that, it's kind of hard to rebound. We know how the college voting goes, the ratings, the point system. It proves itself to be an argument until it actually gives you the matchups. And then we're like, okay, now I get it. But in the beginning, we're all trying to prove the machine wrong. Kind of like the MLB strike zone. Yep, I said it. That thing is still confusing. The Major League Baseball strike zone, I think it needs a dictionary, a thesaurus, a Pictionary book, its own, I guess, algorithm, because I'm confused about the Major League Baseball strike zone. As it's heating up right now, we're almost mid-September when things are about to get a little wild, which I think is pretty cool. But that's all right with me. I'll take it either way I get it. Either way, I think it's going to be a fun thing, a situation going on for the whole situation here. I think it really is. And that's what matters. I think we want this baseball team, the Cardinals, I think right now, we're 1 game out of this wild card spot, the second wild card spot. We had a great weekend, opposed to everybody else that's in the hunt. But I don't want to. I just don't want to go in the playoffs just to be going to the playoffs. You know, when you go to the party, you want to dance, you want to eat some of the food, you want to mingle with the people. You just don't want to just go to the dance. If we go to the wild card, is there any future beyond that for us? That pitching staff is questionable at times. What comes out of our manager's mouth sometimes is very questionable. The only time I've seen him get outraged was when there was a controlled substance allegedly in our pitcher's hat, but it wasn't. That's the only time I've seen him upset. I'm not saying he needs to get La Russa mad, or Herzog mad, but damn it, it may help. Or even Joe Torre mad. It may help. Or Red Shamings mad. It may help to spark a fire, a little attention getter up under this ball club, and let's move forward. Stranger things have happened to this ball club in the month of August and September, especially during a championship run year, unbeknown to us, the fan. But those times that we're really counting on this ball club and they put out 100 wins and things don't turn out the way we want them to, we're a little disappointed. But when they scrap in like a blue-collar baseball team, I think the root is on even more for them. By the way, little baseball spit there. That Subway Series got a little comical, heated, confrontational. Lindor is that thing. I think some of the fans thought they were at a soccer game last night or a football game, however you're looking at it, but still entertaining value at its finest. We're going to take a short break here for my sponsor, Mountain Man Scrub. Get your scrub.
Mountain Man screw. As smooth as a river flows. MountainManScrub.com. Get your scrub on.
All right, and we're back. There we are right there. If you're just tuning in, happy Monday. Thank you. Thank you. Got high fives for everyone out there. Chest bump. Let's hug this thing out. Oh, let's hug it out. If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. Wedding anniversary of any kind, congratulations, you made it. If you got a raise or a promotion at work, congratulations. If you bought yourself something new over the weekend, congratulations. If you did something out of the ordinary this weekend, as long as you're okay and you didn't hurt nobody. And the rest of you, did you enjoy the weekend? The most important thing right there, huh? We all made it to work today on time. Everybody make it to work on time? One time. You have to be on time for work now. It's closing out the year. You got to close out the year on top. Speaking of closing out the year on top, we have picked up 2 new sponsors to the show. We have Friendly's Bar in South City, located on Roger Place, as well as Tower Pub, located on Morgan Ford Road in South City as well. Tower Pub has teamed up with us to sponsor our Montez at Midday Who's to Blame Fantasy Football League. So there it is. They are now carrying the NFL ticket after 15 years on Sunday. So there you go. Now you got it in there. What up, good folks? How y'all doing? Well, the weekend brought us that. The rejuvenation of college football. From the fans to the crazy plays, whether it's a cat dangling from the roof or maybe it's a water leak at an NFL stadium. Either way, what a weekend it was. Shouting at the TV gets at an all-time high. I'm talking when you're bringing the true facts to the television. Not just to be yelling at the TV, to be yelling at the TV. But to the point you're yelling so bad, you pause TV, rewind it to prove your case, but there's no one around. There needs to be an app for that, to yell at your TV and these officials feel it. Because I don't know what camera they are using to look at this video footage in New York, in the NFL. They need to let us fans know what this setup looked like. Because something's wrong. Somebody's off somewhere. We got to get to the bottom of this. These calls that are going to New York and are coming back with questionable decisions on the call. And this has nothing to do with my team, the Denver Broncos. I'm talking about our league, our brand, protecting the brand, protecting the integrity of the game. These officials have you quoting yourself, doubting yourself, from your pick to your lineup to your attire. Because what they can and cannot do during a football game. I still don't understand what's reviewable and not reviewable. If it happened, you should be able to review it. That's all I'm saying. But the NFL did not let us down at all. I would like to throw my towel in right now on the Washington football team, as I thought Fitzpatrick could use that magic and guide this team. As I told you all, I have the Washington football team and the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl as a crazy pick. Both teams lost yesterday. Fitzmagic went down. Call Cam. Cam Newton can run that Washington offense with that defense. That defense just needs a little push. Just you know how that baby first walk, you gotta pet the baby on the ass. Just not a baby walking by itself. That's all the Washington football team needs. I guess nobody does circle the Buffalo Bills like the Pittsburgh Steelers did yesterday. Watching that game, I thought Buffalo had that game. Big Ben looking like he was contemplating retirement in the second quarter. Then lo and behold, things started happening out of the hands of you, but the football gods step in. There's things just happen in the game. You just what just happened here? What? You can't even get up and go to the bathroom anymore watching football games. If you do, you got to turn the volume up real loud, or take your tablet or your phone with you, or unless you have a television in the bathroom with the ticket or with an antenna or that can pick up the games. It will have you doing that. I saw some crazy calls. They don't know what a personal foul is, a hit in the helmet. How can a man going full speed just come to a complete stop and not hit the quarterback? They got to adjust that call on the quarterbacks. I saw the call for Brady. I saw the call for Teddy B. I saw the call for Jameis. I saw about 8 calls where it was impossible for the defender to stop. I mean, what are they supposed to do? I understand you want to protect the quarterback, but damn, can we still rush the passer? Is that still a thing? But let me know, because you're confusing me. At all times, you're confusing me. The Chargers' offensive scheme. That young man can throw the ball. He can throw the ball. I think if they go out and grab just a veteran receiver that's out there just dwindling away, lots of speed, lots of experience he can bring to the game in that position, I think if he get a receiver like that, we can talk about some MVP numbers for the Chargers quarterback. That Jacksonville and Houston game. I think all quarterbacks go through this. The deer in the headlights look. You know, whether you're the number 1 pick, whether you're the last pick in a draft, it doesn't matter. If you play a quarterback position, a high-profile position, tensions are going to arise, and I saw it yesterday. He settled down a little bit, but he threw the ball 51 times in his NFL debut. It's going to be a rough ride for Urban Meyer. It's going to be a rough ride for him. But hey. But Tyrod Taylor did his thing with Houston. He fits that scheme with Houston better than I thought he would. Much better than what I thought he would. I don't know what the league is going to do with Deshaun Watson. I think we're all wondering still why. But we've all heard the stories about athletes like this. You can't tell them nothing until something happens. Man Cave member Walt, I hope he's okay, because yesterday the 49ers were winning the game 38-10. They were winning 38-10. They won the game 41-33. That's not the kicker. They were playing the Lions. I know Goff is the quarterback. I know that. Can he change? Can Goff go back to the Goff he was for a half a season when he was with the Rams? I'm worried about San Fran. They got too relaxed with the play call. They got way too comfortable. That game almost got away from them big time. Cincy and the Vikings. It was a weird game with the Joe Burrow comparison to his throw in college as his throw in the NFL. What is the identity of Cincy? Is Joe Burrow really the real deal for them? What's going on with I'm your cousin, Kirk Cousins? Did you like that? The man who really showed everybody how to work a 1-year contract. The man who showed you how to work a franchise quarterback tag in the NFL. What is his identity? Where is he going? I can't figure out Minnesota for the life of me. And the Saints in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers. For Jameis to throw 5 touchdowns in less than 150 yards, that is impressive. That goes to tell you field position was a key part of the game. When I heard how many first downs that the Saints had, as opposed to how many the Green Bay Packer backers had, I think it was 22-2 at one point. or 14-2 in first downs. It was time to tune in and watch that game. I saw a different Aaron Rodgers. His body language is off kilter. The pregame, all that. When I say I started watching, I turned the volume up when I saw that stat come across the bottom of the screen. He wasn't himself yesterday. Big Ben wasn't himself yesterday. He snapped out of it in the third quarter. He woke up. I think the Titans, the Bills, got slapped in the face with a little bit of reality. We're not that good. We're not that good. And if they were, that wouldn't have happened. If they were that good as we all suspect and hope they will be based on what they've done the past 2.5 years. But everybody gets adjusted to everybody. Time will tell. As we found out about the Rams last night in the late game. That Rams look good with Matthew Stafford, but can he stay healthy? Can Matthew Stafford stay healthy? Can the line protect him? Because the Rams defense is going to do some things to cause you do things that you normally wouldn't do. Throw the ball early. Run the ball as a quarterback, and you forget that number 99 is right there. Uh-oh. Him down. Man down. That offense, it's all going to come in with its own. It's all going to come within its own. I could see probably 11 wins out of the Rams if they keep that up based off of one game. But I can't really judge that too high because they were playing the Bears. And it looks as though the fans are already calling for the coach's head after making a very indecisive move at the starting quarterback position. I get it. You don't want the fans or the media telling you how to do your job. At some point, ego has to stop, and reality must kick in and step in. I noticed that about when football season or that hot topic of sports comes up. A lot of people are afraid to back down. Even when they're proven wrong, it's clearly wrong. You're going to lose. You did lose, but don't want to face the facts. That's how I feel the Chicago Bears coaching situation is going when it comes to who should be the starting quarterback. Fields or Foles, Foles or Fields, Fields or Foles, Foles or Fields. It looked like it's a fan favorite. Justin Fields should have been the quarterback. Look how hyped that the team was. Got the people going. When you get the fans behind you and your teammates behind you, you can move mountains. I think that's why people say it's good to have good support when you're trying to do something, because that support is like your own sold-out stadium. It pushes you in ways you just never thought or imagined. But time will tell. Because tonight we got the Raiders in action. Lamar Jackson. I want to see how this Ravens offense is going to revamp itself, considering what happened running back wise to this team. Never heard this before in my life. They lost all 3 running backs. Wow. And the Raiders. Will this be the year that Carr gets it together? Will this be the year for the Raiders? I'm hearing about the Raiders and the Cowboys every year. This is our year. Drake, this is our year. This is our year. Every year is your year. Every year is your year. Every year. I'm proud of my Denver Broncos. Teddy B looked good yesterday. I don't like that late touchdown that made somebody some money in Vegas, though. That's all I'm saying. I don't like the way the late touchdown came into play. That's unfair. They need to start watching these lines a little bit more than I'm watching the lines on the final outcome of these games and seeing how this money is shifting over quick. Long as the money right for baseball playoffs. But go Cards as we get ready for this final push as we're winding down this baseball season. Couple of weeks, I'll be going to the game to see the Cubs. That ought to be a lot of fun. Well, I hope your football team in college won over the weekend. Hell, I hope your high school team won over the weekend. Your alma mater, your kid's pee-wee team, your nephew pee-wee team, the kid you watching that's not yours. I hope they did well in football over the weekend. I hope your pro football team won yesterday. If they didn't, so what? Still talk your shit at work. If your team has won a Super Bowl ever, you still have the right to talk that trash. Now, if your team has never won a Super Bowl, go to the back. Nobody got time for that. If you ain't never been to the club in the VIP section without a rope, we got our own damn floor, you can't be talking to us that way. Some stuff we not just going to tolerate. Whether you whispering or whistling to steal baseball signs or banging on the trash can or using a vibrating device on your chest, Major League Baseball, we got problems and we got to fix this. One by one, Mr. Manfred. One thing at a time. Just one thing at a time. Cardinals, let's get in this playoffs. How about that? Let's get in the playoffs. Monday Night Football tonight. Man caves and she sheds. Go the way you go. Don't forget to check us out on social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Dre Montez. Visit the website to get a complete listing of all the sponsors. Go to www.dremontez.com. Got a podcast, an event going on tomorrow. Details will come as soon as I have all the details to post. It's a great event. We're trying to come up with a way for all these local podcasters to get together once a month. You know, musicians do it, local artists do it. All local acts do something together once a month. Why we as podcasters can't get together once a month? Let's talk about some things. I bet a big group can save somebody money that's trying to get into podcasts. You can learn something from a whole group when everybody's doing the same thing. If that interests you, let me know. But tomorrow I'm going to an event, and I will post you those details as they do become available to me. We have set a date for the cookout for the barbecue winner of the first CJ the Barbecue Madman giveaway that we did here and with Friendly Sports Bar on Roger Place. So turned out we're going to do the cookout on the 21st of September with a live show that day. So it should be a lot of fun. So thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your money. Get back to work. Put that cigarette out. You know what to do the rest of the way. You guys enjoy your day, and thank you again for tuning in to Montez at midday. And we'll see you Wednesday at 11 Central